See. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Music Scrap, the musical scrapper. This evening I'm going to do a mini album. This is a mini album I made first way back in October 2012. And I do have the video saved on my hard drive, and I started trying to edit it so I could put it up on my YouTube channel, but trying to edit 3 hours of video to get it down to a small enough length so that it didn't take 3 days to upload to YouTube is basically impossible. So I just decided to do it again on Ustream, and where I can directly upload it to my YouTube in less than like 10 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do. So nice to see everyone here. So if you're watching it on my YouTube on recording, or on Ustream on recording. This is being done live, so there will be times when I'm chatting with my people in the chat room, with my peeps, and so you can fast forward past those sections or whatever, but I can't ignore them totally, because they're here to have fun and ask me questions and whatever. Hi, Presto. Do you want to switch chairs? Come here. I know. You go over to this one. Come here, over here. Come on. Give Mommy her footstool. That's good. Oh, she's going to leave because she's mad. I made her move. Okay. So. Okay. So. I am going to use this album that I'm doing. It uses letter size file folders. And depending on how many pages you want inside, I'm doing 6. You can do 5, you can do 6, you can do 7. It just makes the binding wider or whatever. Then you will need some chipboard for your covers, or you can use file folders for your cover if you wish, if you prefer to have like an all soft one. That is up to you. Now these file folders came from my dollar store, Dollarama. They were 100 for $3, and they're neat because they all have the long tab on them, so that's kind of neat. That's right, B3. Hi, Brenda. Nice to see you. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is to cut down. Now Dara was going to play along with us, so I don't know where she is. Eileen, maybe you can tweet Dara and ask her where she is, because she was going to play along with me. Maybe she fell asleep and having a nap or something. Maybe we should tweet her and wake her up. Hold on, I'm just trying to. There. Okay. All right. So I need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if I put those there, they're probably going to fall on the floor. But okay. So, going to take each folder, and you're going to trim it at, leave it folded, you're going to trim it at 6.5. Now the sections that we are cutting off, we will be using as for our binding and for our hinges and stuff that we need. So they will be used. So 6.5. Welcome back. Thank you, Eileen. Eileen, since none of my mods are here as yet. Oh, yes, Sherry is. Hi, Sherry. Didn't see you come in. Never mind. Didn't see Sherry come in. Hello. Just saved me, Sherry, for making Eileen mod. Sorry. Just kidding, Eileen. Sort of. Oops. Well, you know, Brenda, I thought of that too. But then I realized that my stream would be so long that I probably might not get to the point of getting everything put together. So I decided for this one, I'm not going to do that. I'll use papers. But yeah, that's an excellent way. You can use your jelly plate and have fun. And I know these look really long, but we're going to fold them to make pockets. So, all right, so 6.5 inches. Now these are 11 3/4 inches long. So just so you know. We're going to make a 6x9 album. Okay. True. Yeah, I'm sure, Eileen. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you. Oh, there comes Dar. Dar's going to have to get cut up. Dar, I got all of my file folders trimmed at 6.5 inches. Okay, so we have now something that looks like this. Now, like I said, I'm going to show you 2 different ways of binding it when it comes to the binding part. But right now, yeah, it was fun. Yep. Hey. So Dar, so far I cut my 6 file folders at 6.5 inches wide, cut off 6.5 inches from the fold. So now I'm going to take, oh, wish I'd stopped saying that. Going to take each one and open it up so that the fold is going to go the correct way here for us. Now, what I'm going to do is, okay, so I am going to score it at, now, depends on how long you want your album. If you want your album 6x8, you can score at 8. Which I think I might do instead of 9. 8 or 9. Maybe I'll do 8.5. Oh, I'm going to do 8.5. I'm going to score each one at 8.5. Now, it hangs down beyond my scoreboard, so I'm simply going to move it up when I get to the bottom. Okay, so I'm scoring at 8.5. Eileen. So, Dar, I know you work so fast, you'll catch up to me anyway. So, trim all your file folders at 6.5, and we're scoring at 8.5. And you can just catch up to me. How's that? I know how fast you work. Sorry. Sorry if my head got in the way there, folks. So 8.5. Okay, I see Eileen's in fine form tonight. It was an exciting day of figure skating in the Olympics today. It's wonderful, so nice when everyone skates well. Instead of like with the men's program, the one with the fewest errors wins. Never like those kind of competitions. But that wasn't the case today. I don't think anyone in the top 10 or even 15 made any errors. Or no big ones anyway. Oh, they were, Eileen. They were just amazing. The next few years. Now, apparently, they're usually a pair that makes errors, and that has kept them back in previous years. But if they keep skating like that from now on, no one's going to reach them for years. It's going to be a Russian takeover again. That's okay, because that just makes everyone else work harder. Okay. So now you're going to go through and fold all those pocket scores. These are going to be the pockets on your pages. All right, so you'll notice that that's why the reason I scored my file folders with the valley fold open, so that when I folded it, it would be the proper way. And these are all going to have to be really burnished well. So there's your page. That makes your page for the mini album. So you'll have pockets on this side and open. Now, I'm going to show you different ways to, actually, I think I'm going to do an extra page. Yeah, I think, give me a chance. I'm going to do one extra page, so I can show you a second way to do the binding and the folding, or not the folding, but the binding. Let me get another folder here. Where are they with my folders? There they are. Right in front of me. So trimmed at 6.5. And scored valley side up at 8.5. Don't usually use this folder for scoring because I find it so pointy it goes through paper, but File folders are a little more sturdy. Hey, Jamie, hi there. Nice to see you. Oh no, Linda. Planted tomatoes. Wow. All right, so I did do an extra folder so I can show you a different way of doing the binding. Okay, so that's an extra one. All right, let's get these all folded. Oh my, really, Carol? Yeesh. Well, around here nobody plants tomatoes until May or June, so. And even at then, they still have to watch the frost. Oh, thunder snow? Really? That's supposed to be really dangerous, isn't it? Wow. Oh, no, Linda, you can use, if you want to use cardstock. Okay, let's say you want to use cardstock, Linda. I'll give you the measurements. How's that? If you want to use 8.5 by 11 cardstock, all you have to do is turn this into a folder. So you're going to score it in half. Okay. So 8.5 by 11. So you're going to score it at 5.5. Okay. So there's your one fold. All right. So now you have what it looked like when I had it, right? So then turn it so that the valley is facing you. And let's do, so it's, you want to make the pocket deep enough that it's going to hold any pages that you have. Aesthetically, you either want it to be square or you want it to be a little longer than wide. So it's, each page is 5.5. So I would score it, this is 8.5. I would score it at 6. So it's going to be a little bit longer than wide. I would score it at 6 or even 6.5. No, 6, because I would want my pockets deep enough. Okay, so if you do that, there would be your page using cardstock. Hi, Vicki. Yep. Okay, so you've got that, and you can just make your 6 pages that way. Now, all you have to do is adjust your hinges that we're going to make so that they fit your pockets, okay? And and the bottom of your page. But I'll try and remember to give you the measurements for that as we go along. Okay? Hey Mitzi, nice to see you. Okay, so let's put this back out of the way here. We've got Linda's measurements all sorted there for her. Of course, if you use 12 by 12 papers instead of the 8.5 by 11, you would score it at 6 inches, and then you could score it at 9 to make a 9 or 8.5. Yes, I am. Thank you, Vicki. I am recording. Yes, I got it on recording. But thanks for asking. But because I checked, I was like, oh, did I remember? But yes. Okay. Yeah. So there is your. Okay. Now. Okay, I'm going to show you the first way, the original way. Actually, I'm going to do my binding next. My binding's going to be the same no matter what. One of these folders is quite a bit higher than the other. How come I did not? Is it because I didn't trim it right, or I didn't get the right score line? Oh, it looks like I didn't get the right score line. Okay, hold on. So I'll use this as the extra one. Okay, I'm going to show you the first way. Both ways make, sorry, I'm scattered. My brain is really weird today. All right, so I'm going to show you the binding next. And the binding is Kathy Orta's. Oops, hold on, sorry. Now I forget which one is my one that's different. I put them all back together after sorting them. This one, I guess, is the taller one. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Keep that one separate. There with Linda's. Okay. So the binding, you need a folder. And you need to have your binding. I usually make it at about a 1/4 inch or so smaller than the length of my pages. So my pages are 8.5. So I need to cut a piece that's 8.25 long. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut off the tab here. And then trim at 8.25. Oops, and I want it, never mind, did the wrong side. That's okay. I want the side that doesn't have the pre-scored marks in it. Alright, so I'm not going to use the side of the folder for my binding that has this pre-scored marks. I'm going to use the other side. 8 1/4. Oops. 8 1/4. Uh-huh. That's okay. I will take my snow and my storms. I can live with it. I'm a tough Martian now. Okay. Kathy Orta's binding, which is accordion binding with a 1/4-inch gusset. So, but I'm doing it a la Jen's style, a little bit. So I'm starting at 2 inches. And then a 1/4 inch. And then 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. 1/4 inch. So that's 1, 1/2, whoops, 1/2, 1/4, 1/2, 1/2, 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3, 1/2, 1/2, 1/4. 4, 1/2, 1/2, 1/4. So that's, you know how many you did by counting the pairs of 1/2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need one more set. 1/2, 1/2 inch, and then end with 1/4 inch. And I'm ending at 9 3/4, and my paper's 11 3/4. So that leaves 2 inches on the other end. Perfect. Perfect size for my 6 pages. Perfect. Perfect. Whoa! Don't. Don't you dare. Hey, Brenda, nice to see you. It's been so long. We've missed you. Now, I fold this differently than I've seen most people fold. So I will show you my way, and it's just the way that I do it that I find easiest not to mess up when I'm folding. So the first thing I do is I put my score tape on my 1/2 inch sections close to the score line but not over. And that is goes close to the score line, the edge score line, not the score line in the middle of the two of them. So close to the score line of the 1/4 inch, okay? And you only need it on one side of the set of 2 1/2 inch. It has been too long. Okay. I've only seen her around a couple times since New Year's Eve. We worry about you, Brenda. Oops. One more. Sorry if my head's in the way. I apologize. Burnish them. Now you can use wet glue for this if you want, but if you're using wet glue, I would only put the wet glue on each one as I went to fold it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm only going to fold what are going to end up being my hinges. So I'm going to just fold the score line that's between the 2 1/2-inch sections. That's all I'm going to fold and score for now. Okay? So this is slightly different than Kathy's, but the way that Kathy O and some other people have done it, they score everything. But I found I always got confused. I just find this easier. This is more logical for my brain. So, okay, so taking off the first one. So I'm going to fold between those 2 1/2-inch sections and put those together and burnish. Now I'm going to fold back at the score line right before that set. Okay, so there I've got one hinge folded. All right, so now I'm going to take off the next one. Notice I went over the edge a little bit. No big deal. Just fold it up. Now I'm going to fold the score line between these 2 1/2-inch sections. Okay, just the ones between the 1/2-inch. Now I'm going to fold back on this score line that comes right before the 1/2-inch. Okay, all right. Fold back on that one. Okay, same thing. 4 more times. Thank you to Kathy Orta for showing us this cool binding technique. Yes, I do have a logo on my screen, Brenda. Okay, so folding once again between your 2 1/2-inch, and then you fold back on the score line. Comes right before them. Folding on the score line between the 2 1/2-inches, and then folding back. Yeah, I agree, Eileen. Mine always end up more even and straight when I do it this way. And then between the two, I always also find it easier to make sure I don't accidentally adhere a 1/2-inch section to a 1/4-inch section. Fold back. And see, I'm getting a nice even fold here. Yeah, thanks. Yes, I am B3, almost. Oh, I love Photoshop, and I'm loving my Jelly Plate, and I'm enjoying art journaling. Oh, yep, lots of progression for me. Lots of progression. Okay, so when you flip it over, so that's going to be the part of the binding here. That's the back of the binding. And here's the front. Now you'll notice that so far the flaps are all just facing one way. But of course we want our pages to flip. So now we have to take each flap and we're going to fold them along this other score line that's at the bottom of them. Okay, so there was a score line. We already scored along the one that's at the bottom of this side. So now we're going to burnish along the side that's at the other bottom. So we're just going to take the flap, fold it over, and burnish it. Okay? Take the flap, fold it, burnish. Take the flap, fold it, burnish. Get the point right down in there so that it really folds well. Take the flap, fold it, burnish it. And burnish. And burnish. Okay. All right. So then you can just go back and forth. Now they should stand up straight for you, which is what you want. Because once they're up straight and you've got them burnished both ways, then they will, with the weight of the pages, they'll go back and forth for you. Excuse me. Oh. Well, I think Paint Shop Pro is more like the Photoshop CR or CS whatever something, isn't it? Like a full drawing program. Okay, so now what Kathy does with hers is she usually makes these flaps smaller, like an inch or something, and then she adheres these to the covers of her book. Now, I prefer, and I haven't had any problems with my books falling apart or anything, so they've all worked out so far fine doing it this way. But what I do is I'm going to fold, we've got 2 more folds to make. This score line here at the 1/4 inch, I always make mine with a 1/4 inch at the front and the back, just to give a little space between the binding and the book. If you're embellishing each page, sometimes you'll need that. And then we need to make sure that this score here also gets burnished. Okay. So now, I always leave 2 inches because I've never really measured and written down how wide this is. I think it's actually 1.5 inches. So now what I want to do is I want to measure from this very first 1/4 inch score to this 1/4 inch score, because that's how wide my binding actually is. And I think it's 1.5 inches. Oh, actually no, it's almost 2 inches. So it's 1.75 inches. So I have to take off a 1/4 inch. I just do it this way. I'd rather leave more than not enough. So I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off each side here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold each of these flaps back on and make it a nice strong binding. Okay. Okay, so now I want these to lay flat again for a moment. So I'm going to put plenty of score tape on each side of this binding. You can use, once again, you can use wet glue anywhere I'm using score tape. Okay, hold on. I'm going to zoom in just a smidge for this part. There we go. I'll just have to remember to move back out when I want to. Okay. So, and right up against this score line, And if I knew where my 1.5-inch score tape was, I would be using that, but who knows. It's probably in my drawer with my score tape, but I forgot to grab it. So, of course, you can use wet glue. It just takes longer to dry. It's not an instant dry. Well, that's true, Carol, but they're really not that hard to make. Of course, I enjoy the process of making them, so. Okay, so I'm going to take score tape off one side. Now what I'm doing, instead of attaching these to the covers, like Kathy Orta does, I'm folding them back on the binding. Oops. So I want to start right at this 1/4-inch binding. So I'm going to pinch that together first, and then make sure it goes nicely on the rest of the binding. Okay. So that's one side turned under. Carol, that's too funny. That can be important in these days and ages, though. Oh, goodness. Put these in the garbage can. Now, same thing here. You want to make sure, so I'm putting my fingers in the way so it doesn't accidentally attach, okay, to there. So I'm going to actually pinch at the score line first to make sure that it attaches there, and then, okay, so now you have this wonderful binding. I'm going to go down in the middle between each page. There. So there's your binding. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to scoot back out a little bit here. All right. Good one, Brenda. Won't say that on my stream, but that's funny. Okay. All right, so that's the binding. Now this is going to actually, maybe I'll do it while I'm here. This is going to actually attach to the binding chipboard piece itself, so it needs not off tape. Out of fabric. I don't see why it wouldn't work. As long as your pages were a fabric too, because you mean to make a fabric book? I don't see why not. You would just have to use your iron to do your folding and stuff like that. And use your fabric glue. Well, actually, score tape will hold fabric. So that's ready. All right. So now I'm going to show you the original way I did this book in October 2012 when I first did it. What I did was, in order to make this a pocket, all right, one side is already hinged, so you don't need to worry about this side. So we only need a hinge for this side and for this side, okay, and for across the bottom. So for our pockets, we need a hinge that is 3 1/4. So I'm going to make it 3 1/8. Sorry, Sherry. Just a little bit, maybe even a little more than, maybe just on the smallish side of 3 1/4. I don't like to make it 3 1/4. I want to make sure my hinge doesn't stick up above the edge. Carol. Yeah, Eileen, that would work. That would be cool. You could sew in the hinges. Use interfacing to make the hinges stiff. Hey, there's an idea for Barb. I know Barb is here and listening as she was. Barb, you could do this. Oh, Barb ran away. She was here. I saw her come in. Oh, Sherry made Eileen mod. That's too funny. Okay, so 3 and a little less than 1/4 by 1 inch. So all of our hinges are going to be 1 inch. If I'm making hinges that are going to be holding boxes together or pages together that are going to take stress, then I make them 1 1/2 inch, like 3 and what do I make them? 2 and make them 1 1/2 inch. Okay, 3/4 of an inch each. But these aren't going to be taking any weight or anything like that, so they only have to be 1 inch wide. So I can get, I can get 2 hinges cut from each of this larger side that I cut off. Okay, I'm going to do the first way first, and then I'm doing all my pages slightly differently than this. So okay. So 3 and a little less than 1/4. So I'm just going to go just below the 1/4 line. Oh gosh, hold on. I am going to score before I go cutting these. I was going to anyway. Score at 1/2 inch. Score them while they're long, that way it's easier. Don't have to score a whole bunch of little pieces. So you need 2 hinges for each page. At 3 1/4 long. Just under 3 1/4, I should say. Okay. Now, for the other way, the original way was to put the pocket in like this. The open side goes on the hinge. That leaves a pocket here and here. And we're going to close off the bottom, and then that leaves a large pocket here for the top. So I'm actually going to take my, hold on here, if I can find it without knocking everything else down, my punch. Now I'm making them differently, so I'm not doing all pages at the same time. Sorry, I'm discombobulated today. I was measuring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. So we need 1 at 6.5. Where's my 1 inch that I already scored? Where'd it go? I know I scored 1 at 1.5 inches. Okay. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Oops. Oops. I'm just a mess today. A mess. A total mess. Better not drop this one. I don't want to. The other one slid underneath my desk and I'll have to wait till later to get it. Okay. So, 6.5. Yeah. Okay. And my 6.5 is right there. Okay. So this was the original way I did my fold. All right. So you lay down your hinge pieces so that the mountain side is facing up, and put score tape on either side along the edge. Okay. Excuse me. So you're going to take your hinge, right? So this is the pocket. Make sure you open it up this way, and you're going to line up your hinge with the fold of your hinge, the mountain fold of your hinge, along with the side edge, outside edge of your pocket, and right down to the score. And if your measurement is off, like mine is, you can trim it at the top before you see. I still measured wrong. Oh, that's right. This one was scored. This one was scored wrong. That's why. Okay. And the other side. No, no, Charlie. Oh dear. Oh, Charlie's pup was chasing a snake. Oh, I missed that tweet somehow. And if you have everything scored and burnished nicely, this should fold up and line up perfectly along your edges. And voila, you have 2 pockets, a page with 2 pockets. Now, For the original version, I also closed off the bottom. So I'm going to do that. So once again, line up the mountain fold of your hinge with the bottom. And remember, make sure it's the bottom, the folded part. Once again, if your trimming is a little off, trim it, cut it down before you close it off. Now I prefer doing this method of closing my pockets. You could just run a bead of glue along the bottom, but I like to have my pockets have a little more space. I'll show you what I did for inside each of these pockets. Okay. So it's all nicely scored straight. It should just close right over. And there you go. So now we're going to be inserting this, oops, right into the hinge. You would put tape on each side of the hinge. This would go into the hinge. And there you would have your, okay, 6 pages. So that's how it goes. You have a pocket on that side and a pocket on that side, and then you have an opening here to insert. And I'll show you what I used for how I made the insert. Now, I punched out, I always punch out the top when I make an insert, so that, now I'm taking my tab punch from We Are Memory Keepers, but what I'm going to do is I'm only going to punch out, I'm just eyeballing it. I'm only punching down to where it moves out. There. And so then there's a spot there. Okay, now for the inside of this, what I always did is you have, with this method, all right, you have 6 inches. I'm going to make it a little smaller than 6 inches though, because you don't want to be, okay, I'm going to do 5 3/4 actually. 5 3/4 by 8 and 8.5. Okay, so what I did was I took a folder. Hold on. Of course, my folders fell on the floor. Okay. So for the inserts, once again, now if you're decorating with double-sided paper, you don't have to use file folders for your inserts. Uh-oh. Darn. Sorry guys, my chat stopped moving here. Hey Darcy, sorry I missed you coming in. Hi Brenda, I'm making a mini album. No, I don't have one made to show. Sorry. Okay, I apologize. My chat wasn't moving. I thought you guys weren't saying anything at all. Okay, so I'm doing 5 3/4. So what I did for the inserts, okay, was I trimmed at 5 3/4. Okay. By 8.5. 5 3/4 by 8.5. I left it folded, decorated each page. Then I took, let me find just a scrap piece of paper here or something. Okay, let's just use this. I've got a piece here. So I'm going to take this nice piece of teal and how big is it again that it has to be? 3/4 of an inch. So 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. Okay. And this is how I make a double-sided tab using my punch. Then score it. I'll be doing these. Okay, so remember I'm going to show you a second way to do this binding because I'm going to do it differently so my pages open up differently because it's going to be my baby album for my new nephew or niece coming in July. So now I need to score this 3/4 of an inch. I hope I did this long enough. Wide enough, I should say. Hope it's not 2 inches. We'll see. Won't we? We'll find out soon enough. So now, in order to make it a double-sided tab, you have to put it in your piece of double paper, and you have to put it in so that, oops, hold on, this paper might be too thick. Shouldn't be. I've done it before with thick paper. There we go. All right, so you have to put it in and make sure it goes down. Hold on, just being ornery. There we go. You have to make sure, I'll show you in a second and get my head out of the way here. When you put it in, you have to make sure that you don't put it all the way to the top because you don't want it to cut the fold. Okay, there's a space between the fold and the top. So it is not going to cut the fold, I hope. Okay, hold on. There we go. So it's hard to punch, hard to push, but, oh, hold on. It works. So that gives you your folded tab. And then I always put that on the back page. I'm going to use my Mono Multi glue. This is actually my favorite wet glue. I haven't had any in quite a while. It has 2 ends. So this is for spreading if you have to spread it a little wider, and then it has a fine tip. And it looks like a really small bottle of glue, but it lasts me just as long or longer than my Scotch Quick Dry did. And I do like it better. It holds like crazy. It is great. And of course, it's a multi-glue, so if you let it dry before you attach it, it's actually repositionable glue. It becomes repositionable if you don't attach it. So then you put this on the top, on the back, in the middle, eyeballing the middle here. There we go. All right, and of course you would decorate it with decorative papers. Then you put this in here, and voila. Oh, okay, so I guess it doesn't have to be 8. I guess it can be 8. I must have measured that wrong. 8 inches. You'd have to measure. I apologize. Told ya. My brain's on shutdown. And I slept really well last night. I actually went to bed and slept in my bed last night. There we go. Okay. All right, so there would be your page. Well, you can just use it. I've also used circle punches. Just use a circle punch or an oval punch. Don't use a scallop circle or scallop oval because I've done that and people tell me it looks like someone took a bite out of my page. So, yeah. So you can use a circle punch and then make a circle tab. Just punch out a circle, then score it in half and you've got a tab. Or you don't even have to put a tab on your page. Just use that as a thumb pull. Okay, and of course each of these pages would go on one of them. All right. So that's the original version of my book. Okay, and then you would make a mat for in here. You make a booklet for in here. Lots of space for lots of photos. Hey, Erica. That's right, you can make your own file folders using the envelope punch board. So if you want to make it out of nice matching coordinating cardstock, you can do that. Very funky. The envelope punch board is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Just type in YouTube envelope punch board to make file folders or something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this particular book. Because for my baby book, for the new niece or nephew coming in July, I want to have 12 pages. I want to do a page for each month. So so I need 12 sides. Okay? And that is why I'm going to do this slightly differently. Because instead of having it like this, I'm going to put it on the hinges so that each page opens up. So instead of having a pocket, this page is going to open up. Okay? So, so which way do I want it, though? Do I want it this way? So what's going to happen is that each page, instead of getting attached on both sides, it's only going to get attached on one side. And for that reason, I am not going to cover these inside pages until I've got the book put together. And actually, very often I very often don't cover my pages till I have the book together, so that I can aesthetically see how the page looks. I prefer to see what the page looks like. So the only thing what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make these hinges. So let me measure again. So my hinges are going to be 3 3¼ by 1 inch. 3¼ by 1 inch. And I need to trim them first. Gosh darn it. Thank you, Dar. How you doing, Dar? Are you playing along? All right, so let's cut my 1-inch strips here. And that is 1 inch as well, so I can use that. I'll just have to trim off the bottom and the top. So the hinge making is the boring part, and I could have done it today ahead of time, but I figured if someone's working along with me on the video, they're not going to want me jumping ahead anyway. So I figured I may as well just do it in real time. Show exactly how long it takes, and I can't get this to sit still. Sit still. Jeez Louise. Yeah, it's the shorter side, so it won't cut 3. I usually turn it the other way when I have it shorter. That's why it was causing me so much trouble. This time I'll do it the other way. It's easier. This, well, it's not bad considering it's from my Dollarama. It's about as sturdy as you can get these days. It is about the weight of the Michaels cardstock. So what's that, 60 pound? So it's about the same weight as if you were making it from Michaels brand cardstock. Now, it's not as heavy as the Staples cardstock because the Staples cardstock is 80 pound, I think, or 110 pound. Yeah. So it's just standard. But I'm going to be adding decorative paper to it, so that's going to make your pages sturdier as well. Plus, if you decided to decorate your pages with jelly, with your jelly plate, that acrylic paint would really make a nice texture and would add firmness. So, yeah. That's a good question, Erica. Or, I mean, Linda. That was Linda who asked that. Okay, I'll just cut a couple more because I didn't figure out how many I could make from each one. So what I want to do is I want to have a page for each month where she'll start with the day the baby was born and then up to the first month. For the second month, the third month, the fourth month, and so on, up to the baby's first birthday. That's what I did for Till. So I figured it's only fair to do the same thing for the second baby. I don't know if I cut that one straight. I didn't check, I was talking. Okay, so we need 3 1/4. And we need 2 for each page. So I need 12. Oh, and I'm going to score first. And I always score sideways on my scoreboard because with my vision. Yes, the Recollections paper. Yes. Yep. It feels like they're about the same as that. Okay, Eileen. Eileen and I have been having fun keeping up with the Olympics with each other on Twitter. So I don't really think she enjoys curling. Something gives me the hint that she's not really too keen on curling. She doesn't know what she's missing. Probably don't need all these because I'm not making the 6-inch ones for the bottom of the page. But okay, so once again, 3 1/4. I need 12 of them. So this is one of the ones that has the little tab end on it, so I'm going to trim that off. Okay, so 3 1/4. There's 1, 2. So I'm going to get 3 out of each one. All right, I have a question for someone who perhaps has put up YouTube videos before. If I upload this to YouTube, okay, right from Ustream, it takes about 10 minutes. Now, if I then go in and edit and add text to it, does it then have to really upload the whole thing again and take forever? Does anyone know the answer to that question? Sorry, I'm falling off my chair here. Okay. Ooh, did you, Charlie? Did you enjoy it? Australia isn't in the Olympics this year because the Japanese team beat them. 1, 2, 3, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, okay. I was wondering why that was so short. 2 3/4 instead of 3 3/4. I think I did on the one beforehand too. Yes, I did. Ah, that's okay. I've got more. 2, 3. Go. Welcome back, Eileen. Yeah, well, you had some snowboarders do okay though, Charlie. I was watching. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna do this before I score it, I guess. So boring part, adding score tape. Oh, the wrong side. Guess it doesn't matter. It's a hinge which way you're going to fold it. Guess it's not going to be seen, so it doesn't have to be pretty. But for hinges, the score tape goes on the outside of the folding. This type of hinge. Well, I don't know. I might have to wonder who could answer that question. I don't know if anyone in our group has actually edited their video after putting it up on Ustream. Not sure. Not sure. So these are all for the pockets. I agree with that, Charlie. I most definitely agree with that. And I'm not sure, but I believe that's the way it is in Canada. That they have to apply for Olympic funding, and I don't believe our X Games people would qualify. None of the professional athletes do. Beyond their Olympic jackets and that kind of stuff, they don't get practice funding and stuff like that. Training funding. Yeah. Well, the whole Olympics has changed with the addition of, I mean, basically, there are even the track and field people are all professionals now. They win money at their events. I mean, if they win, they all have sponsors. So there's very few sports. I mean, I think figure skating is probably one of the few sports that truly is amateur still. And even some of them participate in, I don't think they make a living at it yet before they're finished competing, but they do tours and stuff like that. Okay, so on to my pockets. So, if any of the tape hangs over the edge, just fold it up. And remember, when you put your hinge on, the fold goes on the outside of along the outside edge. Get it as straight as possible. I get it attached and then take off the top one just so that I don't accidentally stick it somewhere to the table or something. Yes, Brenda, I find it very strange. I mean, I know they went for designer uniforms, but I mean, the USA has always been the most, you know, red, white, and blue, stars and stripes, like right out there. Always, always has been. And this Olympics, you can hardly find them on the uniforms. Now, the Canadians, that maple leaf is always right there. Always right there for on their uniforms. And they're red and white. Okay. So then peel it off. Fold it up. Everything's nicely scored, so it should go right up. Nice and neat and tidy. Hold on, I've got tape sticking up that I didn't trim off. Oops. Okay. Sure, Jean. Show them how nice and easy and smooth it goes down. Okie dokie. Anyway, one page. Hey, Murda. Nice to see you. Making a mini album using file folders. Originally created this in October 2012. Now, I'm not saying that I invented this pattern. At the time, I had never seen anyone do this pattern this way, but I'm not like going to sell it and say it's my pattern or anything just because who knows? Who knows? But I first did it in October 2012, and I was just going to upload the video. I have it on my hard drive, and I was going to upload it to YouTube, but there was a conversation on there about school situation that I didn't want uploaded, and I was going to try and break it down so so that it wouldn't be 3 hours of uploading to YouTube would take like 3 days. So I was trying to edit it, but man, it was taking forever to try and listen to it and see what I wanted to edit out and what I didn't want to edit out, and so I just said, forget it. We've got lots of new people in our group since 2012, so I'll just redo it. And then it only takes less than 15 minutes to upload to YouTube directly from Ustream. So, ooh, your round jelly plate turned out? Oh, cool. Thanks, Darcy. Well, you can, Lucy. You can use pie. I think You used a round cake pan, right? Charlie? Is that what you used? Would be cool. Are you going to use it on your stream this week? So you used the permanent jelly plate recipe with the glycerin? I've got to make mine still. Now I'm wondering if I should just make a round one instead of a 12 by 12. Maybe I'll make both. Anyway. Second page. I don't know about a spring. I don't think a spring form pan would work, Mitzi. It would leak out. It would have to have a solid bottom. It would leak out before it's set, I would think. I would think. And then this one didn't get measured quite right, so I have to trim it off. But that's easy to do. Unless, like me, you can't cut straight. Just a chunk out of the page. Oh, a silicone round one. Oh, cool. Neat, neat, neat. So I still have my bottle of glycerin here. I haven't made my permanent one yet with the glycerin, so. So did you use any alcohol or just all glycerin, Charlie? Cool. Well, good to know. I mean, I did the faux round jelly plate thing on one of my journal pages there just by using stencils instead of the round jelly plate or a cutout circle. Yeah, like a stencil over my jelly plate that I have. Oh, okay, good to know. The Frugal Crafters recipe. Excellent. That's what I'll be, yeah, that's what I was going to use too. Excellent. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Always line that up with the score line first so that if it's too long, the extra will be at the top and not at the score line. Yeah, distilled water, right? Because, all right, so line it up with the fold, just in case there was an error in trimming. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, but Carol, did you use distilled water? You have to use distilled water. I don't know, maybe. But if you didn't use distilled water, then that could be why. Distilled water or water boiled for a substantial amount of time to get all the living things out of it. Oh, you use just tap water? Hmm. It shouldn't have to go in the fridge. Well, good to know. I shall be doing that soon. Yes, I shall. Yeah, that's what I mean, boiled. Yeah, it has to be boiled. Yeah. You guys probably see more of my top of my head than project. Sorry about that. One more page to do, folks. One more set of hinges. Then we can make the cover and get the pages all attached. Cool. Very cool, Charlie. Has the weather cooled down at all over there yet, Charlie? Oh no. I didn't trim that off. I want to find the time. Where that? 6:40. Okay. All right. So there are the pages. So now I have to make the cover. So So I always like my cover to be larger than my pages, obviously. So I need my cover. Let's put the 0 at the right end here. All right, so my pages are 8.5. So I am going to make my cover let's see. Do I want to? Yeah, 8 3/4 by 6 3/4. 8 3/4 by 6 3/4. So next up is my chipboard. And my binding needs to be 1 3/4. So unfortunately, just narrow enough that I can't use it all from one. And this is a piece that I wrecked or left over from another project. I kind of scored it wrong, so I'm using it on other projects. I need to find my chipboard. Here it is. Ah! Okay, my chipboard. Six and a quarter. I'm just going to trim a little bit off the edge of this because it's not very. Just going to trim a 1/4 inch off because it's kind of messed up there. This is, of course, my chipboard blade. All right, so 6 3/4, which is right on the edge of that, right on the edge. Right on the edge of this. Okay. 6 3/4. There. Okay. So 6 3/4 by 8 3/4. That can be used for a die cut later on. I have a little spot there for so I'm going to cut my 6 3/4 size first, of course, so that it leaves a nice long section there. Oh, gosh. everything's in the way because my desk is too messy. Ugh. Eight and 3/4. All right, there's my 2 covers. Now 8 3/4 by 1 3/4. So let's do the 1 3/4 first. By 8 3/4. All right. So that goes in that leftover section. This goes in for leftover section. Okay. Okay. Well, I bought the 8 by 10 one after I tried my own homemade one and knew that I was going to use it. And Karen Ellis said there, it was too expensive to order it from the States and get it delivered because it was going to be just as much for shipping as it was for the jelly plate. So I paid a little bit more at Karen Ellis's, and she had a deal on shipping one weekend or something. So I ordered it from her. And it's been worth every penny for me. Okay, so that's why I made my own version first. So I would know if I was going to use it or not. Now, these were the papers I was going to use. Actually, no, they're not. Guess this isn't going to be the baby one because I don't know where my baby paper book is. My stack that I was going to use to make this. I don't know where it is. I'm sure I knew where I put it, but obviously I don't because I don't know where it is. Huh. Well, darn it. I cannot. This one's too pink. There's not enough neutrals in this to make it. I thought there were. Darn it. Okay. So maybe instead I will use, okay, hold on. I guess I'm going to be making another one for my baby book. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think I just found it. Oh, I think I'm going to have to. Oh, yeah. Totally. I moved it. I bought the Mother Goose papers. So I'm going to have to use. Okay. So I'm going to have to use. Sorry, guys. I'm using the Graphic 45 Mother Goose. But because it's an 8x8 book, I'm actually going to have to cover it first with cardstock and have everything held together with cardstock, and then mat the cover included. So I wonder, I think I'll use a nice green. Just let me see if I can reach my green cardstock here. Oops, sorry, I'm kicking my paint bucket. My bucket of paints. Reach over my desk here. See if I can reach my greens. Papers here. Ooh. Oh no, they're heavy. Yeesh! My cardstock. It's one of those plastic folder thingies here. All right, let me see. It's a true green. And I'm going to need a few pieces. So I think this is the right color. Okay. I'll keep this nearby because I may need some other colors from the inside. Oh, hold on. I'm losing stuff here. Oh, this is it. This week, okay, I'm going to make a pact with everybody. Let's hope I can keep it. I'm going to have made a substantial dent in my room between now and my next stream. How about that? So I think that's a perfect color green. Do you not agree? Hi, Carrie. Yeah, and I thought it's like perfect for a girl or a boy when you're making it this far ahead. It's tough to know, right? So, okay. All right, so let's cut this now. So, my pages are 8 3/4 high, and I always like to have an inch on either end. So 9 3/4, 10 3/4. So I need to trim it to 10 3/4. 10 3/4 for the height. And I'll keep that because I might be able to use it for tabs later on. Hey Susan, nice to see you. And let's see how much more I'm going to need for this length here. Okay, hold on. Let me get this set up here. This is just guesstimate, so I can see how much more I'm going to need. 6, I need 7, and I've got, so I'm going to need at least 5. Okay, so I need to cut. Oh no! Avalanche. Again, my page is falling off. All right. Sherry, Mitzi wants to know if you've spoken to Carol yet. Yes, I'm making a file folder mini album tonight. 10 3/4. Okay, and I'm going to do it by 6 just in case. I guessed 5, so I'm going to do 6. I'd rather have too much than not enough. I can always trim it off what I don't need. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to attach it first. I'll put the join in the back so it won't show up as much. And now the search goes on for my tape. Oh, there it is. What? There was an earthquake, Mitzi? Did you what? Wait, hold on. What's going on in Oklahoma? Did I miss something? Because we've got more than just Carol in Oklahoma City, don't we? Isn't Lisa there too? I missed something. Oh, poor Oklahoma City. Holy smokes. Really? Oh no. Tornadoes now. Oh, goodness gracious. Now, very often I add Tyvek to my binding, to my covers, because the book, especially Baby Album, is going to get a lot of opening and closing and etc. Well, how on earth did I miss that? On Friday? Carol has been online since then, so she must be okay. She hasn't said anything. She's been on Twitter since Friday. Excuse me, I need to grab a Tyvek envelope here. I don't think I have any pieces. Of course, it's in the bottom drawer. My tripod's in front of it. Coffee cup. Hold on. Alrighty. Okay. So these are Tyvek envelopes that I got off eBay a couple years ago. Got 100 for like, well, whatever it was, they worked out to be about 50 cents each. So I've still got tons left. Of course, because our post office doesn't use any. Well, I had CNN on for a little while, not on Friday though, but on the weekend when I was waiting for that trial information to come through. But oh well, whatever. I used to have CNN on all the time, but once the Olympics is over, I'm going to be changing my channel, my TV subscription. I'm going to keep the fewest channels I'm allowed with my contract. Okay. Alright, so I like to have 3 inches so that I have 1.5 inches on each side of the hinge. So I just trimmed off one edge. Fold. And I'll put that in here for extra. This is just, a Tyvek, of course, is made of plastic, so it's not gonna break. It just helps the book, the hinge of the book, so it's not gonna break apart on us. So 8 3/4 this has to be. Yeah, well, I watch everything on Project Free. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I use a lot of Netflix too. So, and like most of the shows are available online through our like Canadian stations or whatever. So, I watch most of my stuff online. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm just going to put this aside for a minute because I have to do these first. So on the edges, sorry, but I'm going to use score tape instead of the Miracle tape. When it has to do with chipboard, it just seems to hold better. Okay. Exactly, Carol. You got it. Gotten addicted to a couple of UK series online. Like, well, Actually, Doc Martin we can watch on in Canada too, but I was way behind, so I caught up online. And what are the other ones? Oh, the Bletchley Circle. Ooh, I found that. I like that one. And right now I got caught up on DCI Banks. DCI Banks. I like that one. So these are all UK. There's one called Amber, which is really interesting as well. Oh, what was the other one? It was kind of like the same idea as The Killing in the US, but it was a UK. It was the name of a place. Okay, sorry. So I put score tape on the Tyvek, and I'm also going to put one. Since this is just the 1/4 inch, not the 1/2 inch, I'm going to put 2 rows on the edge of the. Oh, shoot! Now I did take out a new. I put that in my. What did I do with it? I took out a new roll. Huh. Except today, I know someone's going to comment because people have commented before about. Well, I shouldn't say people. A person has commented about my searching for stuff on my YouTube, but it's like, well, too bad. This is how I work. Okay, I guess I'm going to. I've got most of it done in score tape, so I'll switch. And then just one on each side of this, I guess. I use more rather than less as far as tape when I'm putting my books together, because the last thing I want is for my book to fall apart. So I'd rather use more tape than less. Oh, I know, Carol. It's a great show. I hope they do a new series because they can't leave it where it ended off in the last series. Absolutely cannot. Although the one who plays the principal, his wife is actually on DCI Banks right now. So I hope that doesn't mean something. Ah, well, I won't say anything then. I won't say anything beyond that. Don't want to ruin it on you, Carol. But it's a great series. Doc Martin. It's just a laugh. It's a hoot. And yet, I mean, he's the grumpiest, stodgiest, most unfeeling person. But you feel sorry for him. He's just such a great character. Kingdom? Oh, I don't think I've watched that one yet. So I'm just guesstimating the halfway point here on this and attaching it to the front. And adhere it really well. And next comes the, oh, I probably made it a little too wide. Oh, maybe not. We'll see. Eesh. I should have made it wide enough to go all in one piece. I don't know why I didn't do that. Dummy. Silly. Silly me. I usually make it all one piece. I don't know what I was thinking. It's been a long time since I've made a mini album like this. And now you want to leave at least one width of chipboard in between so that it opens flat for you. And I need my ruler because I don't want it to be crooked. Okay. Now the nice thing about the Tyvek is that it, rather than using cardstock, is that it's really not that thick, so you're not going to really notice it that bad. Oh, Eileen. Okay, I'll attach this one on the book first. And it's strange that I don't like that, Eileen, because I should like it. But it's just because, I mean, I love Criminal Minds. I love those kind of shows. You know, all the Law and Order, of course, they're not quite the same as Criminal Minds, but I do like all those kinds of shows. So it's unusual that I don't like the following, but I watched the first week and I thought I was gonna like it, and then the second week it was like, nah, no. So okay. And I'm going to run out of workspace here when it comes to trying to put this together. Actually, Hostages is awesome. I don't know what they're going to do next season, but of course, the new season of House of Cards is up on Netflix, so I've been watching that in between Olympics and such. There we go. Oh, True Detective? Is that one good, Vicky? I've seen that come up online. Yeah, I know I am, Lucy J. I'm certainly working myself into a corner here. Yeah. Okay. You can okay, you guys can still see my whole thing, so that's good. Good to know. Okay. Sorry, I've got to get my both feet back up here. I had one foot down for a little while for a short break here. Okay. Now I'm going to take my green. Oh, I guessed that perfectly right. Woohoo! Okay, so now at this point I will be using Well, I usually use glue stick, but there is my glue stick. Hold on. I use score tape and glue stick for this next part, but I think my glue stick ended up on the floor. Uh-oh. I wonder. I need new glue sticks because I'm almost out. Oh, wait a minute. I did buy some. That's all right. I'll use my glue. Okay. So what I do is I'm going to put score tape all around the outside of this and all around the outside of this, but then I'm going to use glue, wet glue, for the rest of it so that it completely adheres to my binder. So let's do the score tape around here first. Yeah. Oh, how long is class? Well, I'm always at least 3 hours and sometimes longer. I'm going to at least get this all put together and then I'll see if how hungry I am, whether I'm going to keep going. Jerry Ann doesn't come on until 10 my time, so I could go that long. I want to get at least the book put together, so we shall see. Okay, so that's that part. And then around the outside of this, hey Vicky. Thumbs up is the letter Y inside brackets, Linda. Thumbs down is the letter N inside brackets. Yes, Eileen, I would. Oh, welcome back, Carrie. Oh, is she on now? Jerry Ann is on now? She's not usually on until 10 my time. That's, well, I mean, if you want to go to Jerry Ann's, that's fine. Doesn't bother me. Then go ahead if you want. It's no problem. I do not mind. Yeah, thank you, Carol. Oh dear. All right, and then I do the score tape on either side of the sections here. In other words, around the whole perimeter of each part of the book. All right, I don't have to take it off the paper just yet. I'm going to take it off my book first. Bracket, no, not the square, sorry, parentheses, Lucy. My fault, I said bracket, parentheses. Sorry, I used the wrong term. My fault. A lowercase y and parentheses. Sorry. Ah. I apologize. As a teacher, you'd think I would automatically use the correct terminology, but eh. I teach music, not English. Thank goodness I don't teach English. Yeah, so. Well, I know that last week Jerry Ann did 2 shows. She did one in the afternoon, one in the evening as well. So, okay, so I'm just setting it up so I know where I'm going to put it. I'm going to use the wider end because this rubber end allows me to spread the glue. Okay, so now I want to fold this at least roughly as I go because I don't want it to, there we go. Oh, thanks, Carol. Okay, Linda. I just wanted to let you know that I wouldn't, it'd be fine. People can choose. And there's more than one streaming. Okay. Nice color. It's even nicer in person than it's showing up on my monitors. It's more of a Kelly green. It's kind of showing up as a bluey green on my monitor. Oh, now I also need to put a line of, ooh, I've got mail. Oh, I have to tell you guys, okay. Those of you who follow me on Twitter know that my sister has been in Germany the last 2 weeks visiting her daughter and grandson, Till, and son-in-law. And so Till likes to practice his Olympic events while they're watching Olympics. So they were watching luge, and apparently he wears this helmet not just for. Anyway, he even has a helmet. Well, of course, it's an invisible helmet, and an invisible helmet which he stores on the coffee table in between his practices. But anyway, when he's going to practice his events, he goes over to the coffee table, picks up his invisible helmet, and he puts it on, and he even pulls the visor down. This is, of course, after watching the luge events. They were watching luge. And so then he pulls his visor down, and because they have hardwood floors, so he goes running and sliding on his belly along the hardwood floor, practicing his luge technique with his arms behind him. So funny. That's my Till. Said to my sister, you better have some good videotape of that. And she does, she said. So she's going to make us up a CD or DVD of a video. Like, yes. Oh, okay, Mitzi. She's testing her new camera. Okay. Perfect. All right, so the next thing I need to do is to trim my corners. Now, if you want to get technical, you can use that corner trimmer thingy. Or you can use your ruler, because the ruler is, the Tim Holtz ruler is the same thickness as chipboard. So you can do that. I just guesstimate it and trim it off. And I've never had a problem with my corners. I usually do this before I put the score tape on, but I forgot. Like I said, it's been a while since I've made a... I'm sorry I'm out of camera doing this, but I have to be able to see. I have to hold it up to my face in order to see. Okay. So now I've got my corners trimmed. Hey, Linda! Nice to see you. Woohoo! Oh, he does, Darcy, and he's like two. Well, he'll be 3 in April. Great imagination. But his mom, like Stacia, had a wonderful imagination like that when she was young too. And they're both musical. They're both music majors, so it's definitely got that going for him as well. Plus, he's been practicing to be a big brother. So, how he practices to be a good big brother is he tucks mommy and daddy into bed. And so he reads them a story and sings Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star to them twice while he pats their arm or their shoulder or whatever. So he's practicing to be a big brother. Now it's for the new baby because my niece in Germany is pregnant and due in July. So this is going to be when Till was, her present for Till was first year baby album. So it's going to have, I'm going to continue working on it next week, the pages. It's going to have a place for information for each month. So for each month, how tall he is, how much he weighs, all that stuff, just like you would have in a baby book. There's going to be an envelope where she can put keepsakes from that month or whatever. And yeah, so there's going to be 12 sections, one for each of the first 12 months of the baby's life. You don't know whether it's a girl or boy yet. They couldn't, oh, sugar. It's all right, I'll cover it up, I guess, with the papers. They couldn't tell from on the last ultrasound whether it was a girl or boy, so we have to wait. So I didn't get that one folded under right. Turn this off without snipping the corner. There we go. I didn't get it folded under enough. Hold your corners over there. I think I need to add a little glue here. That's what was wrong with that other corner. Okay. Just go along the edge here. All right. And I always like to go along the edge like this to flatten out the edge. Just as a refinement thing. Now I'm going to make sure that fold is in the back. There we go. So I'm just going to do a little folding here. Okay, perfect. There's perfect cover. Oh, really? Oh, that's fun, Carol. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Now, this is going here, and I just have to see and make sure that it completely covers the chipboard. So I'm not going to need to add anything there. So that's good. That's perfect. If I had thought ahead, I should have made my spine out of this green. I might even do that. So I can always use this for another. Well, no, no, I don't have, no, because the pages are this, aren't they? Yeah, no, okay. That doesn't matter. But I think what I am going to do is, I am going to, let's see, I open a door and things start falling out. I hope I have a green marker here. I'm just going to go along the edges there with the green marker. Oh, of course my dark green Sharpie isn't in here. I was using it the other day. Where is it? Hold on. I must have a dark green marker somewhere. Let's see. Hi, Kathy. Oh. Oh. No computer in your classroom? You missed it? Oh, it was amazing, Kathy. You have to watch the figure skating tonight. Oh, it was just like the most amazing event. It is so wonderful when everyone skates their best. So I'm just taking a green marker. It's not the exact same color green, but and I'm going along the tie back and the edges of the chipboard as well. Whoops. Well, doesn't matter if I mark on it because I'm going to be covering it over anyway. I just don't want to put, I do not want to put another layer of this on the inside because it will make it too thick and they don't open flat properly. So it's just easier to do it this way. Because I don't have the hinges going out over and covering it. You could do this in black as well, whichever color is going to match. Oh, don't want to ruin my brush tip. But... Okay. Oh, really, Mitzi? Oh, cool. Jonna is working on a set of pinup plates. What are those? Pinup plates? As in pinup girls? Oh. she painting them? Oh no, there's a Martha Stewart one that would have been a better color. I wonder if I can go over top of it. Oh, I didn't look closely enough. This Martha Stewart one would have been the perfect color. Darn it. Oh well. Oh yeah, that's brightening it up a little bit. That's okay. Okay. All right. I really want to get the spritzer tool because I think I would use the spritzer tool. I would use my markers if I had a spritzer tool. No mods? Oh dear. Did Sherry disappear? She must have went to supper, did she? And I missed her? Okay, Eileen, here you go. I know, I'm risking it. Vicky. Funny, funny. Okay. I'm just trying to get it in the middle here. And then it should fit. Uh-oh. Exactly. Here. Okay, and then I have to go, you want to get it attached really well. So down in between each hinge here. Bye, Vicky. Is Vicky leaving? Uh-oh. Vicky is handing out drinks and then she leaves? Why did she leave? Right after or did she go to get the margaritas? She goes, she's handing out the margaritas and then she takes off and leaves. Oh, is it pixelated? It doesn't look bad on my end. No, Vicky said she was going to hand out the margaritas when she realized there was no Okay, so now it is time to attach the pages. So when I attach the pages, I am going to attach them on that side. So one side has the pocket, so I can't attach the side that has the pocket because then that'll close off some of the pocket. So I'm going to attach, no, I didn't get that on right. Oh, that's why it's a little too wide. Huh. Well, I can trim that off. Hold on. Those of you who are Really, I should use my ruler. I'm gonna have to stick some glue down here. I didn't make my I should have made it 1 3/4. The I need a new blade in this thing. Thank you, Linda. Oh, I know why. Because it's when I'm moving. Hold on. Just a second. I'm going to check and see if auto. Sorry. I'm going to take off autofocus. I forgot to check for that. There should be no pixelating now. Sorry. I guess I'm going to hide that by putting my paper right over. No worries. I'll figure it out. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. Alrighty. So, as I was about to say before I realized that was messed up, is this is my back because it has the join in the paper, which you can't really see, so. True, Linda, true. So I'm going to attach the side of the page that doesn't have a, right, but I'm not attaching it on both sides. I'm going to only attach one side, and then this way it'll open up. And this is where I'm going to be putting the envelopes for her to add little things in. So there's going to be an envelope going on there. Maybe I'll do the decorating next week on my show, on my stream, do a continuation. Okay, so do I want it that way, or do I want it to open this way? That's the next thing I have to decide. I have to decide which way I want it to open. Do I want to open the book and then have this and have it open? Or do I want to have it this way and then have it open? Okay, I have to figure this out. Hold on. Because if I do it that way, 1, 2, 3. Month 2, month 3. Month 4, month 5, month 6, month 7, month 8, month 9. Oops. Okay. So, I think I would rather it open. Okay. So, I want it to open this way. So that's going to be his his or her birthday. And then that'll be for birthday. Which way do you guys think would be better? Okay, Eileen. No problem. Okay, so definitely what I'm doing. Yeah, I think so. I just have to decide this because I have to decide which side of the hinge I'm putting the score tape on. That's why I have to decide now. But you know what? What I really wanted. I may be switching something here. So some months are going to have pockets and some aren't. That's not the way I wanted it. Yeah, so I think, hold on. I'm going to stop this recording and make another recording of inserting the pages. And I actually may change the page style. So thank you very much for watching part 1. And I'll be right back. I'm not going anywhere.